Welcome to each and everyone, our respected principal ma'am, teachers, staff, and my dear friends. Today, our teachers, our union body, and IQAC has organized this program, World No Tobacco Day. I'm glad that everyone has taken part in this program. So, our first agenda is welcome address by our respected principal ma'am. So, I would like to request our principal ma'am to say a few lines.
Okay. Good morning and a warm welcome to each of you present. Respected senior most teacher, Dr. Pranay Kumar Aditya sir, who is also the director IQAC of Kokrajar Law College. Respected other teachers, my dear students, friends of this college. And first of all, I would like to extend thankfulness to each of you for joining this program despite of a short period of notice. So the main objective of this day is to uh, observe at least a day without a tobacco in each of our lives. So this year the theme of World No Tobacco Day is Commit to Quit, and on 29th we have received a guideline and uh, order from the UGC and AISHE to observe this World No Tobacco Day, maintaining the COVID protocol, in order to make our campus a tobacco free campus, in order to make our campus a place wherein we adopt greenery and we don't make our campus a place which is not uh, considered to be an environmental friendly campus. So, in order to maintain greenery, in order to make our campus a tobacco free campus, the UGC and AISHE have circulated an order and guidelines on 29th of May to observe this day. So therefore, I also couldn't inform you earlier. So within a short period of time, we had to organize whatever was feasible during this lockdown period. So the main objective of this day is to at least make our life at least once in a year, so that we can have no tobacco, we do not consume any tobacco at least for a day in our lives in a year. So the main objective is that. And this day was first observed by the United Nations in the year 1987, and since then we have been observing this day every year, and it is a mandatory for the United Nations member countries to observe this day, so that together we can march towards a nation, or we can march towards a world wherein there is no more tobacco. So all of us, we know what are the outcomes of consuming tobacco. All of us, we know that, so I don't have to repeat, I believe I don't have to mention that, regardless of observing World No Tobacco Day. But some stories I would like to share is that I have lost dear ones for consuming tobacco. And to be very frank, I will tell you, and I think most of you already know, that tobacco is the initial stage of consuming other substances like drugs, like heroin or cocaine or whatsoever it is. So tobacco is the initial phase of entering into more hazardous substances in our life. So if we can restrain ourselves from consuming tobacco, then I believe that we will restrain ourselves from consuming other hazardous substances as well. So, like I have already told you, I have lost dear ones because of consuming tobacco. I have lost my family member who died because of lung cancer. Uh, because that particular person, to tell you, he was not an alcoholic, also. He did not consume alcohol in his lifetime, but he was very fond of smoking, and he was very fond of tobacco, that sadha that we call. So we have lost him in the year 2019. He was affected with lung cancer, and the studies says that the maximum lung cancer, or the most cancers that takes place in our human body, uh, it is a result of consuming tobacco. So, which is why I appeal before each of you that if we can restrain ourselves from consuming tobacco, then we can restrain ourselves from many other health issues, and also we can restrain ourselves from consuming other hazardous substances, which are drugs. So that's what I wanted to tell to you on this day. And another story that I would like to share, I think if you are in my Facebook, then you could have seen it some months ago. I have shared a story of a couple, very young couple, who are married now, and they are running a rehabilitation center in Guwahati. So they are also the victim of uh, tobacco and other hazardous substances. And in their interview, they have told that initially they started with smoking. They started smoking with their friend circles, and they did not even realize that smoking a cigarette, when did they ended up into consuming drugs. They did not realize that. So it took a long time for them to come over that phase, to come over the phase of smoking or consuming hazardous substances. So, what I want to say is, if those couples, that means who are married now, husband and wife, if they can come out from that particular phase, from a phase wherein they where when they used to be a smoker, when they used to be a doper. So I do not think that that means you and I, we cannot restrain ourselves from consuming tobacco. We shouldn't enter into that phase of life wherein we have to take help of rehabilitation center. Well, I do not say that rehabilitation centers are not good. Yes, definitely good. Those who cannot restrain by themselves, they have to go to rehabilitation center to come out of this bad phase of life. So what I want to say is, tobacco is something that is the initial stage of consuming other hazardous substances, and if we can restrain ourselves from consuming tobacco, then I can say that we can be someone who will not be at a bad phase, or also we can help others from stop smoking, and so that our world is a better place to live in. And like I've already told you, I have lost my dear ones, and not only from my family, I have lost my friends also because of consuming tobacco. Not only consuming tobacco, as in they were into other substances as well. So one of them died out of overdose, who was sleeping. He was sleeping in the night, and morning he was no more. Okay, a very close friend of mine, with whom I have studied my BLLB in Bangalore. And again, another friend of mine I have lost because he consumed some substances, and then they went to enjoy in a river. And when they were enjoying in a river, he drowned because he was not in his senses. So I what I want to tell you is, I have lost dear ones because of consuming other hazardous substances, and they have began with tobacco, they have began with smoking, just the smoking cigarette they began with, and that smoking cigarette have led them into that particular phase of life, wherein we had to lose them. So what I want to say is, please try not to practice tobacco at least for a day today. If you can, make the environment free of tobacco and free of smoke, then I think slowly we can have some more tobacco days in a year, at least once in a month. If we can observe a no tobacco day, then I think we will attain such era wherein there is no more tobacco in this world, and where a world is a better place to live in for each of us. And what I would like to say is, help yourself and help others to quit smoking, uh, so that each of us, we can enjoy our lives together. And like I said, those couples, a husband and wife, they said that, without tobacco also, without drugs also, life is much more beautiful to enjoy, with friends. Tobacco or alcohol is not the only way of enjoying life with friends, but without tobacco also, the life is much beautiful. That's what that couple had said in an interview. So with this words, I welcome each of you, and I appeal each of you to please obey today's theme, that is commit to quit. And I think with this few words, I would not like to take much time. And I welcome each of you once again. And with these few words, I inaugurate today's session. Thank you, and wish you all no tobacco life in a future too. So thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for an
Thank you, ma'am.
information about the topic. Now, I would like to request Dr. Pranay Kumar Aditya, the Director of IQAC, to say few lines.
Uh, Very good morning to all of you, respected Principal Madam, respected faculty members, and Coordinator of IQAC Cell, Mr. Suresh Basumatari sir, and my dear student friends. Today, all of you, as know, and the Principal Madam, as well as the Chairperson of the IQAC Cell of Kokrasar Law College by this time, has said the tune of the discussion today. Now, today, as a special day, we are observing assembled together on a virtual platform. However, the purpose is to generate awareness, especially among the young students and across the society, with a slogan to commit to quit smoking or use of tobacco. Smoking is one very common form of using tobacco. Besides that, there are also, as you all know, other forms in which tobacco is being used by the society in which we live in. And the much serious concern is about the students, the school going students in higher classes, also the students in colleges at undergraduate or postgraduate level. They are growing human beings, and for the one to become sometimes smarter than others, therefore they very quickly adopt the habit of smoking, which in course of time becomes uncontrollable or beyond their control. This is the wrong side of the thing. Therefore, as the World Health Association in the year 1987, already Madam has mentioned, took a resolution where April 7 was declared as a no smoking day. Thereafter, the same body took the resolution in 1988 declaring May 31 as no tobacco day. And WHO has taken a very serious concern how to make our society free from the use of or the larger use of tobacco and its byproducts. Now, as far as the WHO is concerned, the director of WHO has very recently made a remark that those who are using tobacco has 50% higher chances to uh, develop COVID-19. So in this pandemic situation, it has become more and more relevant that unless we try or restrain ourselves from using tobacco, we are inviting greater chances to be affected by COVID-19. And it has been also stated that around 60% of the smokers across the world are willing to quit smoking. So this is one of the positive signs, but we are to see that how can we avoid using tobacco. There are sometimes some tools are being used. Sometimes personally we can restrain ourselves through different means like adopting yoga. Therefore, yoga is very effective, especially for the youngsters and students who can devote some time to practice it, and definitely this will help to increase our immune system at the same time to get rid of this kind of problem who are already uh, adopted these wrong habits. Anyway, as you know, tobacco smoking or use of tobacco in any form is very risky as far as the content, chemical content in it. Nicotine is a substance which when which is there in all forms of tobacco, and nicotine with certain other chemical substances being used in tobacco products, they when get mixed with the blood start some biochemical reactions, and these reactions ultimately leads to our respiratory tract infection, then pulmonary infection, sometimes tuberculosis, sometimes diabetics, sometimes uh, weakening our immunity system largely, and sometimes also some dreaded disease like TB and heart attack. Therefore, these are the common ailments our people are suffering from. Therefore, from this age group, especially the young people, unless you develop the habit of uh, getting rid of the use of tobacco, it becomes difficult to carry forward your energy level. So tobacco is also reducing our energy level, and sometimes in future the sexual potency has also been reduced at a higher rate because of higher use of tobacco or tobacco products. And our madam has already given certain examples of her personal life, how tobacco is a killer for the society, and in every family it is a very risky thing if we are in the habit of using tobacco. You know, there is active and passive smokers as well. And the primary thing for this day today is to generate an awareness among the youngsters, students, and the people around us, how we can make them quit consuming tobacco in any form. And also in our real life situation, we should make it possible to practice how to avoid using tobacco. And mm, today, therefore, from my side, from the I2AC cell, as Madam has said, the purpose is to create an awareness among all of us. So we all should take, and definitely a pledge will be taken that in our personal life, we must avoid using tobacco and the products made out of it, and in that way we can make our society uh, a very constructive one. Otherwise, you know, WHO has also banned from 2008 onwards that there is no tobacco use advertisements for business or other purposes. So you see in big sports and other events, this uh, tobacco advertisements or cigarette advertisements, etc., have been banned. And in the cigarette packets, etc., or in gutka packets, in the other forms of tobacco packets, the concern for health injuries have been um, endorsed, and this is engraved. Therefore, this is a precautionary measure to make us aware of it. Therefore, whether it is a business, whether it is the concern for environment, whether it is the concern of our family, whether it is the concern from our community or society, all of us should realize the ill effects of the use of tobacco, and therefore I make an appeal to each and everyone how to make ourselves safe, especially in this pandemic situation, and keep away from using tobacco. Thank you for very much for giving me this opportunity to share my opinion with you. Thanks a lot. Thank you, my student friends and the faculty whoever joined in this discussion. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your kind suggestion and information. Now, our next agenda is address from the students' representative, President and General Secretary of Pokrajar Law College Student Union. So, I would like to request our President Hemchandra Brahma and General Secretary Sandan Wari to come forward and say some words.
Good morning to all. Respected
Good morning.
principal
Good
ma'am,
morning.
respected principal ma'am, and chairperson of IQAC, and also respected Sir Aditya, director of IQAC Kokrajhar Law College. First of all, I would like to thank IQAC and all the representatives of IQAC for conducting such um, such important program in this important day of World No Tobacco Day. And today's, as we know, that today's theme is uh, commit to quit. So today, uh, as we have already learned that how World Tobacco Day started. Uh, just I would like to uh, summarize it in brief that in 1987, the member states of World Health Organization started World No Tobacco Day. The aim was to draw global attention to the tobacco epidemic and the preventable death and disease it causes. The World Health Assembly passed a resolution marking April 7, 1988 to be a World No Smoking Day. After the resolution was passed, World No Tobacco Day on 31st May every year became a big day for health and community workers to go all out and help people quit tobacco. Some of the um, effects of and diseases of smoking or taking tobacco is being discussed by our sir and madam. Smoking can power of one's life forever. Also, tobacco use is responsible for 25% of all cancer deaths globally. Use of nicotine and tobacco products increase the risk of cancer, cardiovascular, cardiovascular and pulmonary diseases, as discussed by Sir Aditya. Now, I would like to discuss more about psychological effects. Uh, some of the people they they might think that smoking could decrease the stress level and anxiety, but it is just a temporary process. After a long term of taking tobacco or smoking, stress level and anxiety is uh, a permanent cause. For a long term, psychologically, stress and anxiety is caused by smoking tobacco. Such kind of psychological effect may lead to depression and could cause many harmful side of psychological effects. So I would like to suggest all my fellow friends and brothers and sisters that health is like money. You never know the value of it until you lose it, which is quoted by Josh Billings. And also that let us today, in the day of No Tobacco Day, as the team says, that commit to quit. This should encourage us to quit smoking or tobacco, taking tobacco intake for a healthier life. So I would now like to complete my um, say, and I would like to pass it to our respected General Secretary. Thank you.
Thank you. Uh, Respected Principal Madam of our college, Prita Brahma, and respected senior most faculty member and director of IQAC of our college, Sir Dr. Aditya, and respected coordinator of our IQAC Law College and uh, uh, professor of our college, Sir Suresh Bosumotari, and all the others esteemed faculty members and their participants. First of all, I would like to convey my best wishes to everyone for this uh, World No Tobacco Day. As uh, the speakers already brief out about the day, it was first observed in the year of 1987 after passing the resolution by the World Health uh, Assembly. They passed this resolution in 1987, and since we have been observing this 31st day of May as the World No Tobacco Day. Now, I would like to brief out, and I would like to begin with one of the verdict that has been pronounced by our uh, apex judiciary of the country that we all know, that is Supreme Court. Supreme Court, in the case of Murli Deora versus Union of India, in this case, Supreme Court gave verdict that the smoking in the public places uh, is banned in this case because it can cause uh, some kind of deadly diseases like lung cancer and this diabetes, etc., to other non-smokers. That's why Supreme Court banned. So the motive of this celebrating this World No Tobacco Day is already briefed out by our earlier speakers. That is to quit the tobacco and any other kinds of drugs from the society, from the world. And now this global epidemic, that is coronavirus, COVID-19, is uh, happening in the world, and world is uh, uh, now not functioning as normal. So in this uh, context, this health issue is very much concerned because now the medical experts and the frontline warriors of COVID-19, they have briefed out that immunity system is very much required. Now, if we consume such kind of alcohol or this biri, cigarette, tobacco, this can be lead our immunity weak. So in this uh, pandemic, this pandemic lead millions of uh, tobacco users saying they want to quit this tobacco. So it is a good sign for us, and I would like to brief out the Mr. Anand Misra was a super SP of Dubri, currently posted as the superintendent of police of Nagaon district in Assam. Uh, After joining as new SP in Nagaon district, is taking strict action against the drugs peddler and drugs mafia, and he is doing such kind of great work, and uh, with his team, he has been apprehended lots of drug peddlers and those who are dealing with such kind of illegal activities. And this kind of activities, this prohibited by our Indian Constitution also, which is enshrined in the Part 3 of the Indian Constitution, that is Article 19, that states that uh, we have freedom of trade, but it doesn't mean that we can do any kind of trade. This kind of illegal trade and business is totally prohibited by our this article, and nobody can curtail this uh, fundamental right, as we have seen that in our Article 13, Clause 2, it is also mentioned that legislature cannot make any laws by infringing the fundamental rights and basic feature of the Constitution of India. So it is one kind of very illegal activities. So now this physical healthy physical is very much required, and willpower is very much required to forward ourselves to success. If we want to do something, then our physical must be good, physical and mental, must mentally we must be good, otherwise we cannot do anything. So therefore, I request all my esteemed students, friends, to quit this kind of uh, deadly, uh, this kind of drugs, so that we can uh, prevent ourselves from contacting of such kind of deadly disease. Like already, Sir Dr. Pranay Kumar Aditya brief out about what disease can be caused with consuming this kind of tobacco. such as cancer, diabetes, etc., etc. So, and we must uh, advise our friends, our youngers, so that they can quit this kind of activities. We must advise them, and we must take part uh, to uh, to make this drug-free society in our society. We must cooperate with such kind of NGO. Some of the NGO also doing. They are trying to restrain this kind of drugs. Uh, Using this kind of drugs using, they are trying to stop. So we must cooperate with them also. So uh, with this few words, I would like to conclude. And at last, but not the least, I again convey thanks to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Ham and Samdan. Now, there will be a reading of pledge by our teachers.
For this, all of you will have to read, okay? So you all can unmute yourself. So we all read together, okay? Please unmute yourself.
Okay. Okay, ma'am.
Okay, so let us read. On this occasion of World No Tobacco Day,
Oh no, all
World Note.
I take a pledge that I shall
I take
I
I
shall
shall
never smoke and consume any type of tobacco products
Consume many types of tobacco products
Consume many
not
in
consume
my life
any kind of product. My
my
life
life
at my
and
and
life
motivate my family or acquaintances to not
or
smoke
or
do not smoke
acquaintances not smoke
and use
not
any
smoke
tobacco products.
and use
and
any tobacco products.
use any tobacco products.
I shall keep the campus of my office
by
I
me.
shall keep
shall
the
keep
temper of
tobacco free and shall also motivate my colleagues
Ensuring
and
also
shall also. Ma'am, can we please share it in the screen?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yes, her voice is
On
breaking.
this occasion of
On on this occasion of World No Tobacco Day,
I take a pledge that I shall never
I take
smoke
I take a pledge that I shall never smoke
and consume
and
any type of tobacco products in my
consume any
life
type of tobacco
my
product in my life
and motivate my family or acquaintance to not smoke and use any tobacco products.
and motivate my
I shall
family or
keep the
acquaintances to
campus of
not
my office tobacco free and shall
that
also motivate my colleagues for the same.
I shall keep the campus of my office tobacco free and shall also motivate my colleagues for the same.
Okay. Okay, no?
okay, ma'am.
Yes,
Okay.
So from
okay.
I shall keep the campus of
today,
my office tobacco free and shall also motivate my colleagues for the same.
yes. So with this pledge, I hope we all will remember this pledge for the rest of our life and try to quit smoking. Okay. So okay, Nizra, you can move on.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, everyone. Now, I would like to request our sir, Mr. Suresh Kusmitari, coordinator of IQAC, to give the vote of thanks.
Okay, thank you. Good morning to everyone joining us. Today on 31st May, IQAC of Kokrajhar Law College, in collaboration with Kokrajhar Law College Student Union, has observed and celebrates the World No Tobacco Day. In today's observations and celebration day of World No Tobacco Day, we had drawn various attentions on tobacco epidemic to protect the health of ourselves and to protect the health of people around the world and to protect the health of future generations. In this observation day, I would like to thank our principal IC ma'am for supporting us in organizing this awareness day and for her valuable awareness speech to us. And secondly, I also would like to thank Dr. Pranay Kumar Aditya sir, IQAC Director of Kokrajhar Law College, for giving valuable awareness speech about the World No Tobacco Day, about the consequences of consuming tobacco and how to remain outside from consuming the tobacco. And I also would like to thank our Kokrajhar Law College Student Union President Hemchandra Brahmo and General Secretary Samdan Wari for their valuable speech, awareness speech about today's World No Tobacco Day. And lastly, I would like to thank all the students and the esteemed colleagues joining us in today's very awareness day. Uh, Thanking you all. Have a nice day ahead.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. I have offered. Thank you. Mm, mm.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you all.
And thank you all the participants. Mm.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Mm.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Principal ma'am, I have offered the board of thanks.